Hi guys, it's been a while since I was up here. Wanted to come and talk to you for a little bit. I've been having a lot of people talking to me about the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Seeing a lot of people that have said that they have seen it recurring constantly. They'll walk into the store and then they just so happen to look to see what their grocery list was, and they go down and they look and they see 1234, or I'll see friends that just say that they see it somewhere on a billboard or whatever. So I just wanted to come in here and offer you guys a little information on it, because it's more than what you think. Just going in and training your brain. I know that some people have told me that. They're like, oh, well, you train your brain, eventually start looking at numbers. No. Numbers are a big thing. Our entire, everything, our whole being, this world, the walls, everything is made from numbers. Numbers are very, very powerful. And I wanted to talk to you about 1234 and how it applies in so many ways and why you might be seeing it. So first of all, I'm going to go and break it down into the idea of what each number actually represents. So when you think of 1, the number 1, it stands for so many different things. It stands for new beginnings. It stands for thoughts. It stands for, God as the idea of being one, as the idea of projecting information out. It stands for even male in some ways, in many ways. The idea of taking information, and placing it into a female body to birth it. So we'll get into that a little bit more as well. But the 1 is the start. The 1 is the beginning. Even down to the fact that you really can't be 2 without being 1 first. And we'll also get into that as well. But yeah, so 1 stands for all of that, that starting at one place and trying to utilize the information that you can collect in this area of 1 before you get to 2, 3, and 4. So that's 1. Then we can go into the number of 2. 2 stands for balance, harmony. 2 stands for the universe. It stands for female. It's the idea of taking the information that one is giving, receiving it, and now it's in the process of brewing. So that is it takes time. It takes a little bit to take in this information and to really process it. So even if you think about electronics, if you take, what they would consider the male portion of the electronic and you plug it into the female, now that information from the male is now being processed from the female to spark this electricity. The electricity is another number which we will get into, but the idea is, number 1, you can't be 2 without 1. And once you excel at 1, you could really take that information and give it to 2. Now with 2, again, 2 is all about the universe. Anytime we take thoughts, anytime we say, I want this to happen, or you want to manifest something, the way that you do it properly is by really thinking about it, really being able to say, okay, what do I want out of this situation? What do I really want to get from this? And then once you actually do all the details and everything, then you can build, and then you can go ahead and pass it to 2. So let's say that we're going ahead and we're saying, all right, I'm gonna make, let's say, cookies. So I put all the ingredients inside of the bowl, and I'm stirring them up, and as I'm stirring them, I'm like, okay, so what else can I put into this? This is all the process of 1. Once you go ahead and you put everything into this bowl is when you can then place it into the oven, because once it's in the oven, it's already started. The heat's on, it's already going. And that's pretty much what 2 is. 2 is the universe. It's taking our thoughts to be able to manifest what we really, really want. And that jumps us into 3. 3 is about creativity. 3 is about birth. 3 is about really the ultimate trinity. It's taking 1 and 2 and really being able to build with that. So now you have the pyramid. The pyramid is a major thing that a lot of people always say, oh, well, all these sciences and spirituality and all this stuff, I don't believe in this stuff. But you have to think about things like, we didn't have phones, we didn't have access to speaking to each other, and there was no addresses. So back in the day when these pyramids were built, it's crazy how they were built in so many different areas, and none of these people had access to talking to each other. So you have all of this concept, and it's the beauty of being able to say, a pyramid is taking an idea, putting it into the universe, and creating something. And that in a whole is so powerful. So when you think of 3, think of something that is created. Think of the idea of even birth. You take the concept of a male and a female, and the male is giving the information to the female to brew for 9 months, and or more or less. And once she takes that information and brews that, and she's supposed to guard that with everything, you know, she's supposed to really take care of it and really like nurture it and really make sure it gets the nutrients it needs. And there's gonna be things that, you know, women go through during that time of brewing, but that all has to be thought about when that woman is brewing that child. And it's funny to say brewing, but that's exactly what it is. It's creating, it's holding that child in her stomach so she can really be able to birth something beautiful, something that's going to uplift its entire environment, its entire community one day. You know, that is a great and wonderful position to have as a female, to be able to be chosen as a mother. And once you have 3, that's really considered having that child. Not even just having the child, but also birthing ideas. Think about the fact that, like, when you take 1 and 2, when you take an idea that you really, really want, like, let's say, for example, for what I'm doing now, I'm like, okay, I know that I'm great at understanding astrology, that I really care about, you know, taking in the meaning of numbers, taking in the meaning of herbs and how they can help people. Okay, so now I have to go and plan everything. Once I plan it is really when I put it out into the universe. So I've done my work, and I'm going to keep doing my work. And then the universe is going to give me things, all the tools that are needed to continue that work. And then once I'm able to do that, I birth this idea. So it goes both ways with having children or having an idea. And realistically speaking, though, that really brings down the importance of 4. 4 is such a heavy number. 4, it means discipline. It means taking care of it. One of the best things that I learned from being in a sorority, Lambda Tau Omega, was they said the pledging starts after you cross. And it is so true. It's like, once you're given something doesn't mean the work is done. The work just started. It just began. You know, once you have the child doesn't mean, oh, now we can just go back to our regular lives. No, now it's time to take care of that child. Once you birth an idea, now it's time to keep that idea going, create more ideas on top of that idea. So there's so much to 4. 4 is really about taking care of something that you did brew, and taking responsibility, and taking not just discipline for the idea itself. Like, you don't just discipline your children. You also, as a parent, have to remain disciplined in order to be able to take in the fruit of what that child is willing to give. And it's a very large responsibility as a parent to make sure that that child can now go back out in the world and create more ideas and understand, you know, the value behind 1, 2, 3, and 4. So really, 1, 2, 3, 4 is talking about steps. It's talking about the idea of manifestation. It's talking about patience. It's talking about hope, faith. And even with all of, you know, the challenges that you may come to face with during brewing an idea, it's about staying strong in that, and really being able to say, regardless of that, I'm going to stick with my plan, and I'm going to have faith that the universe is going to give me it in the way that I'm supposed to take it in. And, you know, that's really what 1, 2, 3, 4 is about. I wanted to give you guys an analogy on this because this is so major. I have a little puppy, and his name is Skylar, if you've seen him on pictures. And he's looking at me right now like, why are you looking at, or are you talking about me? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, so Skylar loves to go outside. He loves to go outside, obviously, like most dogs. He waits for those 2 times a day that we do major long walks. And with that being said, it's so funny to me because when he sees me doing things like studying or whatever I have to do, he's looking at me around the time that we usually go out, and he's like, all right, now, why aren't we going out? What's going on? And it's hilarious because it's like, all right, all of your nutrients and stuff are inside. But he doesn't realize it until we go out into the world and he gets exhausted. He has food in the house. He's got all his toys. He's got water. He's got everything he needs inside. And he can go by the window. I have 2 big windows in my house. He can go and look out at the trees and flowers that he loves to smell, whatever the case may be. He has the whole space to himself, no other animals. You know, there's so much in here that he can enjoy. But he has to go outside. So we go outside. He's barking at all the little puppies, barking at the big dogs who are trying to let him know that he can handle them. That's a whole nother story. And then then we start noticing that the little puppy starts, I'm like, all right, we're going to go to this tree, right? I'm going to go to this tree. So I go to the tree, go towards the tree, and he's jerking at his leash, jerking to get quicker to this tree. And I keep nudging him back, and I'm like, Skylar, you have got to wait. So he comes back, and then he sits down, and he's upset now. Why are you pulling me? So then he goes towards the tree again, panting, choking himself on the leash, and I have to yank him back again. I'm like, Skylar, you can't do that. My point is to you is that at the end of the day, he's going to get to the tree. I gave this analogy to a few friends of mine, and they all said, like, wow, that's really, I didn't think of it like that. Let's say I was the universe. So I have this idea. I see the tree. I said, okay, I want to get to the tree. Now, Skylar would be us, right? He goes ahead and he'll go and grab, I'm sorry, I got lost in my sentences. He'll go ahead and say, I need to go outside. I want to go outside. All right, so he has a thought. He knows he's going to get to a tree. Great. I know he wants to get to a tree. All right. So we go to the tree. But it has to be on his time, or it's a hot mess. He keeps nudging and nudging and nudging. So that's the point of the 1, 2, 3, 4. Ultimately, if I was the universe, I know that he wants to get to this tree. I know that this tree is good for him to use the bathroom at. And he yet still wants to keep pulling me to get me there faster. And ultimately, he hurts himself along the way. A lot of times that's what we do. We don't give the time to let things brew. We don't take the time to say, you know what, I'm going to trust in the process. There's so many other things that we could appreciate and take with us during that moment of waiting. And it's not even really waiting when you're just really appreciating. There's flowers along the way that he could have smelled. Maybe he could have barked at another dog along the way. He could have enjoyed the weather. There's just so many beautiful things that, we want to go ahead and just receive all the time. And sometimes we'll say, okay, I want this to happen, and then I want that to happen. And we don't notice that first thing we wanted to happen is happening during the time that we're so freaked out about the second thing. And we can't even embrace it because we're just everything needs to happen on our time. 1, 2, 3, 4 is taking steps. 1, 2, 3, 4 is reminding us that we have to let the universe brew it. If it takes 9 months for a woman to birth a baby, we need to let the universe birth our ideas. We're going to get to those ideas. And then you have to think about it this way too. Let's see if there's glass at the tree. If I go ahead towards the tree and there's glass, I'm going to pull Skylar away from the tree. It doesn't mean that he's not going to have any other trees to go to. There's a lot of trees. But that tree wasn't right for him. That doesn't mean that I'm going to let him keep going back to this tree and scraping himself on this glass. So understand that the universe is in your favor. If something doesn't work out, it's because it's not supposed to. It's not because it doesn't like you. There's this quote, the universe bears no ill to me, I bear no ill to it. In the sense of the universe is not trying to harm you. So don't harm your experience while you're here. Embrace it, embrace everything. And really be able to take in its fruits, because again, the universe is not going to guide you to a tree with glass, take you away, guide you to another tree with glass, take you away. Eventually there will be a tree that's right for you, and you can embrace that tree. Okay, I just wanted to come and explain this because I have a lot of people telling me, oh my god, I keep saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just wanted to let you guys know that it is totally a reason. And I want you guys to have faith in whatever that you're requesting from the universe. And as long as it carries the idea of love or above with that energy, just be patient, because it will come to you when it is necessary. Okay? All right, guys. I hope you have a beautiful weekend and enjoy the weather. Okay, bye. Oh, and I'm still doing readings. And I forgot to tell you guys too, I will be doing videos more often now. I know I said that in the past, but this is very important to me, and I really want to get you guys to understand the different placements going on, and really have you guys know what's going on in the planetary system, as well as other numbers, some ingredients that you can use in your food to make your food vibrate on certain energies, and etc. So I will be starting a video soon, or doing another video soon that has to do with Mars going in retrograde. I know that might be like what does that mean? I know a lot of people have heard of Mercury in retrograde, but other planets go in retrograde as well. And I will be posting a video hopefully tomorrow. I'm talking about that as well. And yeah, so I'm just letting you guys know. So look out for that. And if you need me for anything, any questions about, you know, the meanings underneath the surface of things, I will totally take it in if I don't know the answer, and I will look for it. All right, thanks, and have a beautiful day. Bye.